Hi guys, before you watch this video, make sure that either you, one, watched me read it on Class Dojo, or two, you have the book and you've read chapter one. Chapter one is called Before Breakfast. So I wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions after reading this chapter. My question is, what did Fern talk her father out of doing? So to give you some thinking time, maybe you can tell a parent, a friend, a stuffed animal, what did Fern talk her father out of? Right. In the text, they use the word convince. So I want you guys to show me confused. In my classroom, this is known as confused when you don't know something, if you don't know what the word convince means. Okay, convince means to persuade. We also recognize this as one of our author's purposes. Sometimes the author, or in this case Fern, wants us to think a certain way. So Fern tried to persuade her dad out of hurting the pig, right? So I want to make a text to self connection. So that means I want to relate something that happened in your life with the text that we were reading. So I want you to begin with this sentence frame, I convince. Remember, convince is to persuade someone, to make them think a certain way. I convince. I'm going to give you some thinking time. If you need more thinking time, pause the video. Time that you persuaded or you convinced someone to do something. All right, so I'm going to pretend that you guys shared with me. That's awesome. You're able to convince blank to do blank. I've done the same thing here. I've convinced Gomer to go to his bed with a treat. So I persuaded him, I convinced him. Now, the other thing I want to do with chapter one, I want to act out the scene between Fern and her father. So I have this picture, this illustration of Fern and her dad. So maybe you can interact with me on the camera, or you can interact with someone at home. And so there's going to be two parts. There's going to be Fern and her dad. So if you're Fern, you're going to say, "Please don't kill it," she sobbed. "It's unfair." So you can say that you're grabbing the axe and you're pulling it back and forth. And then whoever's playing Fern's dad can say, "Fern," he said gently, "you will have to learn to control yourself." And then lastly, Fern, it's going to be your turn again. You're going to say, "Control myself," yelled Fern. "This is a matter of life and death. And you talk about controlling myself?" So you can switch those two roles with someone at home, a stuffed animal, or with me on the camera here too. So I hope you guys enjoyed chapter one, and we'll continue reading this book throughout our time off from school. All right, thanks guys.